Hi, everyone. How are you doing? I'm Dr. Gail, and this is Susie. And thanks for joining us today for All About Aliens. Our discussion today will be about the ant people. So let me see who's in the here with us, and while people are coming in, and we're going to be talking about the ant people. Both of us have looked at the show on Gaia with Tim and Emery
Smith.
Smith on Gaia, and I also made a journey when I went and met them again, which I have an association with them. But let me see who's here. Hey, Kathleen Garrison. Hey, White Dragon. Hey, Ginger Sky. Hey, Fine and Phoenix. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Jen Carr. Let's see who else. So it looks like we've got quite a few people already in here. That's great. Hey, Jen Carr. Hey, Teresa Ford. Hey, Trancing with Spirit. Hey, Fun and Phoenix. Thanks for joining us today. There's Cheryl. Hey, Cheryl. Let's see. Hey, Tina. Thanks for joining us today. I see you're all talking. Hey, Rossi. If y'all all would put your questions in capitals, and we will be talking about ETs today, or aliens or galactic beings. A healing show will be later, and I tried one show when I tried to bounce back and forth, and that was a little taxing on me. So it'll be a while before I try that again. Hey, Liz Daly. Hey, Patricia Sullivan. Thanks for joining us today. Let's see. Hey, Rossi. Hey, Kia B24. Let's say, hey, Three Shifting Veils. Thanks for joining us today. This is a Saturday, and everybody's coming on their weekend. Hey, Hypnicity. I hope everybody's having a good weekend. And yeah, it's nice here in South Carolina. The typical going to be in the 90s, which is typical. What's it like in Pennsylvania, Susie?
It's I think there's a threat of rain. I mean, it's not like super hot, so it's kind of pleasant otherwise.
Okay, good. Hey, Laurie Hutsinger. Let's see. Thanks for joining. Hey, Isabel. Let's see who all else is here. Thanks everybody for joining us today. And as I said, we're going to be talking about the ant people. Hey, Julie Hamill. Hey, Incar. Let's see who else is here. Hey, M. Hey, Patricia Tyree. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, Emmy J. We've got a great group of people here. Hey, Heavenly Blessed Honey. Hey, Mountain Mama. Hey, Fatina Vieira. Thank you for joining us today. Let's see who else. Hey, CC. Hey, Coastal Crone. Hey, how are you doing? Is that somebody new, Coastal Crone? I don't. If you're new, let me know, Coastal Crone.
Not from here.
If you're new, hey, Millie DePrada. Thanks for joining us today. And as I said, Susie has a cold, and she will be muting when she's coughing and eating. So she's here, but she's feeling a little better. Hey, Amanda Carroll. Let's see. All right. Well, we're going to go ahead and talk. Susie and I have been looking at the ant people, which we saw, which I have an affiliation with. And mine was way back when I started meeting my different ETs that I found out I was affiliated with the ant people. And they brought me in, and that was one of the first times I had to do a speech in front of all of them. They were teaching me to be a leader. And so I have a personal connection with them. So when Susie and I decided we were going to be talking about them today, I decided to do a journey. So I'll talk about my journey and what all I've met that's not on Gaia, or what I found out that's not on Gaia. It's on my personal journey with them. But we're going to talk about first what we saw or talked about on Gaia. And I'm going to let Susie start off with this before she starts into a coughing fit. I'm going to let her start talking about the ant people. And she even has a picture for us to show about the ant people. So why don't you show that to them? As I'm pulling over my notes. So here's a picture. Now, the people I've been associated with were black. They were black ants. And when I did my journey, I met all different. I met one that was like 10 to 15 feet tall, and he was brown. And then when I went into the city, there were brown ones, red ones, brown. I mean, they're just all and black ones. They were all different colors in that city. So, Susie, how you want to start off on this talking about? I'm going to let you take the lead on asking questions or talk about that part, and then I'll go into my part that I journeyed.
Well, I mean, they are millions of years old. They were here before the humans. They are benevolent, and they do want to help humanity. So they're not entities to be afraid of. They were here before the dinosaurs.
Well, they actually saved humanity
From the flood, 15,000 years ago.
They saved humanity from the floods. They brought them down. They look at us as they were looking at us at that time, and I think they still kind of look at us like we were helpless animals. And so they took us in, and they helped us survive the floods. So go ahead, Susie. I'll just keep butting in. You talking.
I'm just trying to remember what I know. They're very psionic, and they can pick up magnetism, and very intuitive. And they were, especially with their antenna, they're able to pick up all the issues going on Earth. They during those times of the shifts, they brought humans down to help save them. They brought the Hopi down, and they build caverns in big cities underground. They don't have a lot of contact. They rarely come to the surface. They don't have a lot of contact with governments, though. I think maybe 30 years ago.
In the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, because they didn't want their homes destroyed from, construction and, being built underground. So they had to communicate where their homes were.
Yeah, the humans had developed more sophisticated devices, and it was interfering with their homes. So then they showed them where their homes were. So there's no bombing or blasting going around their homes.
They make a delicacy that I know you want to try.
Yeah,
they use an agriculture mixed with their saliva to make a delicious ant bread.
Yeah, and it's actually what they gave the humans when they went down to help them survive. That was the food that they fed them, along with, they do have agriculture down there that they help feed them. But yeah, the psionics, I had to look. Actually, I knew about it, but I didn't know it was like just a broad term for psychic abilities, and that's what they use. And the government's not interested in them because they don't do any kind of manufacturing, and they're using their psychic abilities to develop and use and create everything. So the government's not really interested in them. Is why they haven't had a lot of connection with the government. Go ahead, Susie. What else?
And they don't use a lot of technology, but they have perfected the ultraviolet light, or the types of light that they use to grow their agriculture.
Oh, and that's what they did. They taught the Hopi and us how to agriculture. They brought that to us. They taught us how to survive.
Right, because humans were a traveling species back then, and that's when they introduced it.
Right. So, and they are similar to the ants on Earth. They're working as a group, and they are more prominent than with humans. There are more ants here than humans are. They were here before us. So we're actually the ETs or the aliens to them here. And is anything else Susie, you want to add?
They have a very high work ethic, and they are related to other ant people on other planets. Do you know what planets?
I don't know on the planets, but I know where they're located here on Earth. They're in South America. They're in the U.S. in the deserts in Nevada and Colorado, and they're in Asia is where they're located. Is where you can find them. So they're here in the Americas in as I said, Colorado, Nevada, and that's where they were doing some bombing and research, and that's when they came in contact with them, where they had to map out where their areas were, so we wouldn't destroy their place, their homes. All right, anything else? I got that they're telepathic. Um, they're really isolated. They don't communicate with the ETs much. Let's see. And I'm reading my notes. And they whenever they're prepared to, whenever we have another event coming on, an Earth event, they'll be able to bring in 3 million people. Like they're able to house 3 million people. So they'll bring them in, and they're also saying that Orion will be sending spaceships, and they will be with a white outer glow, that they will be saving people too. So that's quite a lot of people that they have the ability to save from Earth. So they can come in and take in 3 million people and house them and take care of them. That's pretty amazing, I think. So, yeah. Anything else, Susie, before I go on about my journey?
Well, before they went underground, there were remnants of their hives and structures found, I guess, in the Middle East, maybe South America. I mean, that's not widely known, and it's attributed to them. Do you know anything about that?
I don't, but I do know the Hopi have drawings in their caves of them. So there's proof of contact from them in their caves from the Hopis. The Hopis, for the new people, are the Native Americans that are in Arizona. Anything else, Susie?
Can you describe their cities at all?
Yeah, well, I was going to talk about my journey with them. Okay. I decided that since I had connection with them already from the past, and we were going to talk about this, I thought, well, why don't I do a journey? So I went down with my power animal. So I went down and went to their area, and what I was greeted with was a cave. It was over to my right. They had a cave, and it was huge. A huge ant came out. He was probably about 10 to 15 feet tall, and he was brown. I mean, he was huge. And he said his name, and what I got was Oblivion. I don't exactly think that. I think it was more complicated than that, but that's what I got was Oblivion. And it was like a web covered the entrance, and so he made it disappear, and we could follow him. So he went down on all fours as we followed him, and he took us to a city, and we went in out of the caves, and when we went over into a ledge, it's almost like Raiders of the Lost Ark or whatever, when you're looking down at a city. And so we were looking down at a city, and he said that was not his people. His group is more like the protectors, and not exactly like protectors, or guardians of all the ant people. But anyway, he was the reason why. He didn't belong to them, and he was just showing us the city. So we went down to the city, and they sat us on these mounds of dirt, and there were different levels of mounds of dirt, and started talking to us. Now, by this time, I'm already overwhelmed with all the information I'm getting. And they were, as I said, there are different color ants there. There were the black ones, the brown ones, they were all different colors. And they were showing me how they manifest their places to live. And they were like mounds of dirt, and they called them silos. They called them silos, what they lived in. And they used their saliva and the dirt and manifested these places that they lived. They manifest everything. And then, let's see, then they were showing me, and their food. And they were talking about their food and how they create that with the saliva, like Susie was talking about. But also, they were showing me their plant life, and their plant life looked like big windows on the side of these caverns, and there were different plants in each one. It's almost like you were looking into a window of different types of plants. And this was so much different than when I went into Telos with the Lemurians. The Lemurians look very similar to us on Earth, except they're underground, and like they had regular cities, they had buildings, they had planted fields of whatever. But anyway, it was very similar. This was absolutely totally different than that, and totally different from anything I'd seen on Earth. About these windows with plants in it, and that we were sitting on mounds, and there were a lot of mounds that they were living in, and these people were about 6 feet tall. And I asked them if the information from Gaia, from Tim, was correct, and they said yes, his information was correct. So that gave me, I was really happy to hear about that. And I'm looking at my notes to see, and they create different types of slava. I don't know if I said that. On whatever they're wanting to create, the slava is very important to what they create. And then they took us to an underground river, and so we had to walk down to a river, which was their water source, and that was anyway. That's where they got their water, and I think that's about all. They were very warm. They were gracious people, but I was so overwhelmed by that point. They were willing to give me more information, but I was just done. I was done. I was telling myself, I'm going to have to come back here later, because by the time we had met this 10 to 15 foot tall ant crawling through he was crawling through the caves. We weren't. And then meeting these people in the city and looking at how different it was than anything I had seen before. We were communicating telepathically, which was fun, which I usually do, but it was just going to see the river. I kept going, I'm overwhelmed. I'm ready to go. So anyway, I'm gonna have to go back and do another journey with them to get more information. But at that time, so we left, and that 10 to 15 foot tall ant took us out, and so that was my journey with the ants. And so and that happened this morning. So I'm still a little full of information, which I wish everybody could see through my eyes what I could see in there. But anyway, that was my journey with the ant people. And if you see anybody that's like 6 feet tall, they are very warm people. So, and they, as I said, they look at us like we're pets or animals or something to take care of, like our dogs or cats. They kind of look at us like that. So anything, Susie, you want to add to that?
Are there hybrid humans and ground people?
Are there hybrids that are ants and humans? I'm pretty sure there are. Let me see. Yeah, they are. They weren't there, but yeah, I've seen them on spaceships. Anything else?
Do you know what human civilizations never came back up on the surface that are still down there in the underworld?
I think it's more than one civilization. I think whoever they took down there, I don't know that many of them came back up. I think they were happy being down there. Let me see. I think they took people okay, what I'm getting is they took like the higher vibrational people around the world, and it was the people who were not going to be scared of them. Because the people who were afraid of them, they weren't going to be able to survive because they'd be too scared to take the food from them, to interact with them. So it was not, I'm not getting that it was like a whole city, but even though there were some whole cities like the Hopis and things like that went down, but a lot of them just stayed down there. So there's humans down there too. So I didn't interact. I couldn't have taken anymore. I was done. As I said, I was done. So I don't know about the different, I'll have to ask those questions later, write those questions down. And so next time I go down there, I can ask those questions I have questions for them when I go down there. I was real surprised that it was so easy for me to go into their civilization.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Let's see, White Dragon. In 1954, there was a sci-fi film about giant ants in the New Mexico desert called Them. Wow, I have to go look at that. So, Them. I don't know what they were called. Anyway, it's probably somebody who met them. All right, Susie, anything, or you want to go to some questions? You have some more questions.
No, I mean, I just know that there have been rare sightings, and Tim was talking about someone that he knew that saw one in Indonesia, but
Yeah,
he didn't see much else.
yeah, Lee, I am a Pisces. So does that have something to do with the ant people? So, um, okay. Anything else? I mean, I know I imagine Tim and them, they have a lot more information than I do. I can only go by my journey with them, and I like doing journeys, and that's like me going out and visiting planets. I get my information straight from them, and they can ask the questions I want to ask, and not get it from a second source or from somebody else. So, just want to know what's your sign, Susie.
Taurus.
Is there something to that, Leah, that you're wanting to know? I'm just curious. So, what's your sign, Leah? Yeah, Spirit Day, I really get my information for firsthand. It's like, yeah. Um, and when you're able to do it, it's great. Um, yeah, Tina, I've been journeying. Yes, you can get the facts, Jack. Yes. Yes. And it is nice, as I said, to actually be able to communicate with them and talk to them firsthand. If y'all wonder why I keep looking down, my cat, Dirty Harry, is playing with my legs. So, oh, White Dragon, you're just a Libra. These Libras are great people. So, all right, well, why don't we go to some questions unless you have something else to say?
I'm good.
I feel Pisces are tuned into another station. I'm Pisces. I felt earthy energy from Susie. Yeah. Yeah, let everybody put it. So we're going into signs. Everybody put their signs in. Scorpio, yeah, they're great. Hey, Priscilla. It'd be interesting to know what everybody is in here. Okay, let's see. Well, let me look at the first question. Why everybody putting their sun signs in? Okay, White Dragon. Dr. Gail, what message does Archangel Michael have for this community at this moment? Oh, that's a good question. The community thing. Um, he's just saying wait. Why in the world is he wanting us to wait? It's almost like he's saying wait. Things are happening, getting ready to happen. Let me make sure I'm pulling up my pad to write so I can get this information. So I know I do write. Let's see, Kathleen's Cancer. Well, Cancer, the big hugging people. Isabel Virgo. Let's see. Mountain Mama, how can you be Taurus, Gemini, Cancer? I guess Taurus is your sun sign. Okay, you're getting into the details. Okay, all right. Michael's he's saying, wait, things are coming. Be prepared. Yes, what we were to be prepared for. He's saying spiritual preparedness, not physical preparedness. Things are going to rock your world. But not in this community. So that's the message, White Dragon. So something, wait, things are coming, be prepared. It is more of a spiritual awareness, I feel like it is. And things are going to be rocking everybody's world, but not necessarily in this community. I think we'll be a lot more prepared. But that's the message, White Dragon. Do you have a message for him? Because you're very connected to him also. Now I've got to wipe my nose. I'm catching your cold, Susan. Okay. All right. Next, our White Dragon's writing in what he's going to tell us from Michael. Okay, go ahead. You can read this while I'm looking for his.
Aren't you reading the questions? Because I
No,
don't.
yes, you can read it. Read the question.
Because I don't have much of a voice.
Okay, you want me to read them?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, Transcendent Spirit, any messages from my galactic guides or other galactic that wants to come through? Thank you. Okay, let me see. Let's see if they want me to pull. I think they want me to pull a card. Yes. Okay, I'm going to be pulling from the activation deck. Let's see here. Alchemy. Alchemy. The frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemists to perform the miracles of transmutation. So, alchemy. So we all have within. So this is activating you, transcendent spirit. This card is I'm hearing is an activation for you, and this is to be able to connect to some of your abilities. Apparently, there's something to do with an alchemist that we're going to be. I mean, hold on, I'm getting ahead of what they're saying. Apparently there's some kind of alchemist within you, and that this is activating that. And I always think about alchemists as dealing with medicines and herbs and things like that. I'm not sure if that's what they mean, but they talk about this is our magical ability. But I'm thinking this is dealing with you. I don't know if you deal with herbs and plants and things like that, but that's kind of what I'm getting, or what they're showing me is that's what they're activating in you. Transcendent Spirit, are you dealing with any plants or dealing with any herbs and things that you are either taking or working with people, healing people with it? I'm not sure, but that's what I'm seeing. Almost like plant medicine. I think that's what they're kind of showing me. That's my interpretation of what they're showing me. Not really. You might want to start looking into that because this was an activation card. So you might start remembering a lot of that now. So just be prepared and start looking for that. I'm not sure what form or how that's going to show up. It would take me a lot longer to get into that details than just this little short reading here. But anyway, just be prepared and start looking for it. Of course, they're showing me it'll come in your dream state. It'll start coming in your dream state. That's pretty big, transcendent spirit. I can't wait. I haven't dealt with it or worked with plant medicine that much or researched it. So hopefully you'll be able to bring us back some information. Okay, there you go, transcendent spirit. I saw a white dragon write something in there. What was his message for Michael? Did you see it? I didn't get to see it. Let's see if I can pull it, find it myself. Okay, Michael, there it is. Michael says to believe in your core self and trust and have faith that can move mountains. Oh, that's a good message. So there we go. Michael says to believe in your core self and trust and have faith that can move mountains. Isn't that the truth? Thanks, White Dragon. Okay, all right, next.
We have a few questions about the ant people. I'm just going to bring
let's go ahead and do that since we're talking about ant people. Okay, Ginger Sky, how do the ant people tolerate humans stepping on ants? Oh my gosh, that's a great question. I can't do it myself anymore. So, is that the same question, Mountain Mama? Is that the same?
It's similar.
Okay. Since I learned about ant people, I worry about putting out and bait for the little ants that are trying to take over our house. What to do? This has been my dilemma since I had my connection with the ant people years ago. I struggle with doing anything to harm them because I was one of them. I mean, I really have trouble. So I'm not real sure about the answer. I mean, there's a lot of I'm getting a big yes on this. There's a lot of natural things that you can do to deter them. That's what they're saying. You can deter them to go elsewhere. And a big thing is they're so attracted to sugar. That's one of the biggest attractions. Make sure there's nothing out that has sugar in it. That's what brings about. Not even like on the counters, if you had something sweet, make sure, fruits, things like that, make sure that's cleaned up, because that's what really attracts them, is those sweet things. And I'm not sure why I'm being told peppermint oil, they don't like peppermint oil. That you
Heard that. I've used that.
Have you? Does it work?
It helps.
So
and it's natural.
So it just helps. It doesn't really do it. It doesn't work. I'm asking you, Susie.
It's helpful. It's helpful.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm getting is natural things like peppermint oil to more deter them than, cinnamon works. They walk away. Oh, thanks, Leah. That's great. Cinnamon. Okay. Anybody else? Ava Z. Great. Cinnamon keeps them away. I used it around my beehives to keep ants out. Thanks. That's great to know. And it's great to know for me because I cannot kill them after several years ago after I found out that I had been one. So I struggled with that. And I just met somebody yesterday when I was talking about the ant people, and she goes, well, I just kill them. And it was just like horror went all the way through me when she said that. And I'm going, so I found out how, and when she said it, how sensitive I was about that. So what's Wendy saying? Everyone, insect, bug, or wild animal my husband meets tells him their name. Yeah. Okay, Tina's saying you can also blend the citrus mint with lavender. So these are all great ideas. Patricia, I found they don't go beyond the peppermint oil. Yeah, well, that's what I got was the peppermint oil is what they told me. But all these things are great. The cinnamon, anything natural to do, and it's more don't kill them, just deter them. So you just don't want them sharing your house is basically what it is. But anyway, there you go. Thanks, everybody, for all this information that we can go to deter, because there's a lot of us who have been ants, and we just don't want to kill our relatives or harm our relatives. Just maybe plant mint for your info. Oh, that's a good idea, planting mint. Okay, 3 shifting bells. Will the ant people be saved by others before the earth destroyed? Yeah, the ant people will the ant people be saved by the others? Well, the ant people are so connected to what's going on with Earth, and they know what's going to happen. They know it much better than we do. So they know when there's a disaster going to happen, or if there's something that's going to destroy the top of Earth. It's not going to destroy inner Earth. They can go down deeper. They can be caverns. They can go all the way under where they're not affected by it at all. So they're the ones that are going up and getting us off the top of Earth to come bring us in to save us. So you see, the Earth won't be destroyed. The Earth won't be destroyed, but it can be the surface of the Earth could be destroyed. And that's where they come in. Like when we had the floods or when we had the ice age, all those different things can happen. And they're the ones that help save us. And they're also the ones that taught us how to survive by agriculture. So they're the ones that have helped us, and we can look at them helping us again. Also, the beings from Orion are going to be stepping up and helping us. And we know all of us that are working on the Athena, the Arcturians, we know they're coming in to help, and that station can hold up to 1 million people. So there's a lot of help out there for if anything happens, that especially people who are in this community, they're looking at us because we're more advanced, that they're going to be able to bring us in, and that we're not going to be afraid of them, that we will be able to cohabitate with them. So there you go. Okay, next. What you got there? Okay. Hey, Liz Daly, do the ant people have music and art? I'm a Libra. I love Libras. They're so sweet. Liz, I'm not sure. I didn't get that far. I just was so overwhelmed. I didn't see, well, I can't say I didn't see art. I tell you, the windows, the caverns where the plants and everything were, they were almost displayed like artwork. But let me just check to see if they have art music. They don't have it like we have it. It's different. And I'm going to have to go back down and explore. I need all these questions so when I go back down and talk to them again, as I said, I was so overwhelmed I couldn't do anymore. But as I said, how they had their plants and gardens and things like that looked like artwork on the walls themselves. So it might be their art is functional art. So I'm not sure about that. Okay, all right, next. Hey, Tina. Hi, Dr. Gail and Susie. May I have a message from my star family? Thank you for all you do. Okay, thanks, Tina. So all the ant questions are done, huh? Any more ant questions? Y'all can put them in there for us. So let me see.
I'll keep looking.
Okay. All right, let me see, Tina, what they want me to tell you. I'm hearing you're on the right path. And actually, this is the first time I don't feel as much anguish from you. You're on the right path. Keep your journey up. Keep your journey up. You're moving in the right direction. Also looks like to me, Tina, that something's getting ready to happen for you. And it's more in the metaphysical world. It's almost like all of a sudden something's going to open up and go, I knew it all the time. There it is. Finally, there it is. I'm not sure what that is that's going to happen, but it's real close. It's really close here. You're right on the edge for that to happen, and I'm not sure what that's going to look like. Again, that would take me a while to get into that energy and information to figure all that out. But just be prepared that something really good is getting ready to happen. And I think it's in the metaphysical world, and it's going to be some knowledge or something, a new gift or knowledge that all of a sudden you're going like, I've always knew that. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for that information. And so that's real important. I mean, this is big for you. So there you go, Tina. I can't wait to hear about this. This is going to be exciting. Okay. All right. Next. Hey, Em, if we didn't have a past life as an ET, would a human be able to physically communicate?
It's an ET.
What was that?
It says as an ET.
Oh, ET. Can you communicate with them? Yeah, I think so. I think they're. I don't think they're taking. I mean, even when they're taking in humans, it's not just people who are connected or had an ET past. They're just bringing in any human. They're looking more. They look at more. And I'm getting a big yes on this. More of a spiritual person. People, as I said, they're looking for people who are not afraid of them. So communicating, that type of person is going to be able to communicate with them the easiest. The ones that are not totally, you're accepting of something that looks different, that has a different lifestyle, because their lifestyle is so different than whatever we have here on Earth, that they're receptive to any kind of communications and to learn about them. They're ready to share how they live and what they do, because they do a lot of things that are right. Okay, so go ahead, try to communicate with them. Okay. All right, next. Hey, Isabel, what about other insects? Oh, well, I'm connected with the praying mantis. Other insects, I know about the praying mantis because I've met 2 different types of them, maybe even 3 different types of them. First one I thought looked like a grasshopper, but I was told it was a praying mantis. And then the praying mantis, but I think there's a lot, because even up when I was in Mount Shasta, that fly that was flying around me that Susie picked up, which is an elemental. I think all the insects, I think there's a lot of different ones that we're not familiar with. I just know about the things I've been exposed to. I can only go by what I've been exposed to, and it's the ant people and the praying mantis and whatever that elemental was that was flying around us. I'm not sure what, but I would put that in a tiny insectoid category as an elemental. So, yeah, there are other insects, and we'll probably do other shows like this, and we'll be featuring. We definitely will feature the praying mantis at one time because I have had so much connection with them, and a lot of people have. Okay, all right, next. Oh, Leah. Yes, mantis keep showing up. I'm saving them all the time. In fact, well, that was the first thing I did save was a praying mantis. When I was started on my missions, that was the very first thing that I did save was one of them. And they're very nice and smart. And okay, all right, Cheryl. Can the aliens help us heal cancer? If so, how do we get their help? Thanks. Well, that's a good question, Cheryl, and that's a good question that everybody wants to know the answer to. Can aliens heal cancer? I think they can, and in all actuality, I think humans can. I just don't know that, and I might get my hand slapped for saying this. I think it's a big moneymaker that it's hard for them to come out with the cures for it here on Earth. And let me get the answer to that, but I think we already have the cures for cancer here on Earth. And I'm getting a yes on that. But it's such a money maker that I mean, just think of all the pharmacies and the hospitals and all the money that's being made with those type of diagnoses. And what is it? 1 out of 8 women develop breast cancer. I mean, that's pretty big. So can the aliens help us heal cancer? I'm sure they can. They have a lot of healing modalities, but let me see, can aliens help us cure cancer? Yes, they can. I don't know how to tell you to tap into that information, but they're saying yes, they can, but humans can also help heal the cancer. And that's, Cheryl, that's just like a bomb or whatever stepping on to go into that information on that. And that probably could be a whole show itself, and we don't even see them really talk about it on Gaia, do we, Susie, about healing cancer? I don't think I've even seen a show on that, even on Gaia, about that. But the ETs do heal a lot of different things, and I'm sure they can heal cancer. There are some things that we did write in our contract that we were going to experience before we came to Earth, and sometimes I think we put that in our contract to experience it. And sometimes experiencing those kind of things makes us grow so we can help others. So there's a lot more to that, Cheryl. Again, that could be another whole show in itself talking about that. So that's all I'm going to say about that right now, Cheryl. I think I'm going to have to let that go. It's hard to get through the greed here and find true healing. Yeah, Cheryl. If you're suffering from cancer, I'm so sorry for you. But it is a big market and big money in that, and and I've seen that because I'm in the hospital. I mean, I've worked as a nurse, and I've seen that for years, and I've always thought, even if they discovered the cure for it, how readily are they going to be coming out with it? Because all the money that's going to be lost from it. So, I've had the feeling for years that they already had the cure for cancer. They're just not ready to bring it out. But that's I'm gonna get slapped on the wrist for that. But anyway, let's move on from that. Hey, Isabel. Good morning. Blessings. Will I have contact with aliens at 3D level in this lifetime? I'm not sure how many of us are going to have contact in the 3D level now, Isabel, because so many of us have moved into the 5D where we can go to them at that level. And there's so many that struggle coming to the 3D. And since we're moving up to the 5D, and I'm getting a yes on that, it's going to be easier for them just letting us come up to them instead of them showing us. They're showing me that they did a lot of that contact like in the 50s and 60s, but people starting having the ability to come up to them to see them. So you're going to be able to see them like during meditation and sleep and things like that. And whenever you do see them, you're probably, it's almost like you're going to be in a dream state and you're going to be able to see them. Or when the meditators say you're going to be able to see them, and a lot of times it's through your third eye that you're seeing it. And eventually it's going to be that our regular eyes and our third eyes are going to be like kind of equal. So whatever you're seeing in your third eye is going to be just as, well, it is just as real as what you're seeing with your two eyes. So I think it's our perspective that's going to change more so than them showing up in the 3D. I think it's us coming up to their level of seeing them. But so Isabel, are you going to see one in the 3D level anytime in your lifetime? You say, no, I'm getting a note, Isabel, that you're going to be able to see them as you, and I get a huge yes on this. You will be seeing them through your third eye. Yes, that's how you will be seeing them. Okay, next. Hey, Hypnicity, can I get a message from my ET guides, please? Okay, I'm going to pull out of my Starseed Oracle deck. Let's see what we got here. I remember, and it says soul plan, the fated life versus the destiny life. I remember being told read out of the book, which I haven't read out of this book in forever. But they're saying people need to know the definition between the fated life versus the destiny life. So I'm going to pull this up so we can do look at that. Okay. It says there was a moment before you were born when you choose the conditions of the life you're living right now. And that goes along with the cancer part, diagnosis of things. When you plotted out these exact moments along the timeline of your life, we live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. Okay? We live in a world of free will, and therefore these moments become our destiny only through saying yes. The fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses. So there again, the fated life is the one we were born into. The destiny life is the one our soul chooses. So that's real important. So it says, as you're going to remember, and you're going to remember your soul plan, and it's going to be your fated life versus the destiny life. So the destiny life is when you're saying yes. So you have, of course, you have free will, so you can choose what you want to do in your destiny life. Like, and I'll give you an example for, I don't know how many years it's been now, that when the ETs came and asked me if I would work with them, and I said yes. Mary, who y'all know a lot with Earth and Star, they came to her and asked her to work with them, and she said yes. So we have free will, and that's our destiny life. So then my life took off with me doing this YouTube channel, getting information from the ETs, and that was my choice at that time. Your fated life is the one that you were born into. So that is the life. You did make some choices before you came in, and that is your fated life that you are living right now. So Hypnicity, so you are, it says your soul path, the fated life versus the destiny life. I think you're going to be coming into a point right now that you're going to have to make a decision whether you're going to be saying yes to it or no to it. It's going to be your choice. So there you go, Hypnicity. So look out for when they're asking you that question, and it'll be pretty obvious when they ask it, because I'll never forget when they asked Mary, and they asked Mary about a year later than they had asked me, and she was calling me, "This is what happened," and I said yes. I said, "Don't worry, it's going to be okay. I've been doing it for a year." So anyway, just be prepared, and you do have the choice to say yes or no. that's your choice. You have free will. Okay, next. And this is going to be our last question. Hi, Jen Carr. Can I have a message from my star families? I'm going through a rough time and could use some guidance. Thank you. Oh, I'm so sorry, Jen. Going through a rough time. Let me see what they want. Oh, okay. They want to pull the Sacred Geometry Activation deck here. Let me see. Okay, this is important, Jen. Empowerment. Okay, this says the frequency of empowerment supports our ability to show up fully and completely, uniting us with others in the deep trust that we are all connected through the same source. So, Jen, this is basically what I'm seeing. I've got my animals. I'm kicking dogs and cats all over the place here. They're all at my feet. So, Jen, it feels like to me you're kind of, what they're showing me, it's not like you're giving up. It's almost like you're being complacent to what you're going through. And I'm not sure if that's true, Jen. If you're here, let me know if that's what you're going through. But they're wanting you to find your source, and connect with it, and find your power. And connecting with that power, because they're saying they're always with you, your guides are with you, they're all there to support you, to help you, and to find that strength, that power with that unity with all of them, and to help you get through these rough times. And I think a lot of these rough times are being created for you to find that strength and find those sources and to help you get through it. So, Jen, if you're in here, let me know if that makes sense to you. But anyway, all right, everybody. We're done for today. I'm actually cooked for today. I'm done. So, connecting with everybody. But I enjoyed it. Thanks for joining us today, and we will see you on Wednesday. And thanks, Susie, for all your help. Thanks, moderators, for all your help. And thanks for all the great questions today. And we will see you on Wednesday. All right. Thank you. All right. Bye-bye. Bye.